It's over. Do you understand? In that profession, once you ascend to where Conor has ascended to, he's probably worth a couple $100 million. Now, to set that aside, you know what? I'm going to get it out the mud. I'm in the trenches, and I'm going to go train, and I'm going to get kicked in the mouth. I'm going to get elbowed, knock my teeth out. Do you understand how hard that is?
There's no check for $250 million. So he kind of went right down the list of joking. He's kidding. You're not supposed to believe any of that to be true.
I'm going to get it out of the mud. I'm in the trenches, and I'm going to go train, and I'm going to get kicked in the mouth, and I'm going to get elbow knock my teeth out. Do you understand how hard that is? There's no check for $250 million, so he kind of went right down the lists of joking. He's kidding. You're not supposed to believe any of that to be true. Music genuine hand in December. Conor McGregor revealed that he had begun preliminary talks for a possible boxing exhibition match against Paul that would take place in India. He fueled the flames last week by responding to an article about his alleged $500 million fight deal with Paul at Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium by posting an Indian flag and a heart emoji, according to Fightbook. McGregor has just sent a harsh warning to Logan Paul ahead of their fight, saying he will earn $250 million for fighting Paul. MMA fighters are expected to get an incredible $250 million apiece as part of India's massive tourist campaign, which is linked to a well-known mega fight. McGregor now seems to have disclosed the precise amount he will receive for facing Paul. The YouTuber turned WWE star Conor McGregor said on X that he would receive $250 million. I'll be there. The tweet was posted with an image of Paul wearing an Indian flag and WWW apparel after he broke his leg against Dustin Poirier at UFC 264 in July 2021. Although McGregor, 36, has not engaged in his primary sport of mixed martial arts, he was set to make his much-anticipated return in June 2024 when he faced Michael Chandler in the main event of UFC 303. After McGregor hurt his toe during a sparring session, their fight was called off, and attempts to find a replacement date finally failed in November. His road return to the octagon became even tougher and tangled when he was found accountable for misbehavior in a Dublin High Court civil verdict. In one of the most important crossover combat sports events ever, Nikita Hand prevailed in her legal battle against the former UFC 2 division champion, earning $248.60 and $3 in compensation. McGregor has only ever fought once inside the squared circle against the undefeated legend Floyd Mayweather, who came into the ring with a flawless 4-9-0 record and left with an impeccable 5-0-0. The stakes were high. A whopping $410 million was promised in Showdown, to be split equally between the two competitors. At the time, Mayweather earned $280 million, the richest purse ever offered for a fight, while McGregor earned roughly $130 million. However, if McGregor's allegations are true, a battle with Paul may establish an even bigger record. Compared to his brother Jake Paul, who entered the ring alongside Mike Tyson in front of 72,300 spectators in Texas and enthralled 60 million viewers on Netflix last November, Paul's boxing career has been far less eventful. The WWE superstar had previously faced Mayweather in the ring, sparring him for multiple rounds in June 2021. Though there was no official, the 29-year-old victor was proclaimed the winner of two fierce fights between 2018 and 2019, which signaled the beginning of the quickly growing YouTube boxing phenomenon, against his erstwhile competitor, who is now his business partner, KSI, after being docked 2 points. For striking KSI while he was on the ground, Paul's only professional boxing battle to date ended in a split decision loss. Meanwhile, an industry following a leg injury received during his July 2201 UFC 264 encounter against Dustin Poirier. Insider in combat sports has revealed that negotiations are underway for a boxing matchup between Conor McGregor and Logan Paul, tentatively scheduled for April 2025. The UFC is playing a crucial part in the negotiations. In the summer of 2024, McGregor has not yet made a comeback to combat sports. UFC officials announced that McGregor will face Michael Chandler in the main event at UFC 303. However, the Irish fighter withdrew from the much-awaited showdown shortly after the announcement, citing a toe ailment. In the most recent episode of the Misfits News podcast, hosts Ben Davis and Beal addressed some important questions. McGregor's recent posts on X suggested that the Paul fight was almost finalized, but many fans were still dubious about the UFC's stance on the event. According to Beal, the UFC was involved in the negotiations for the McGregor vs. Paul bout, and the authorities were keen for it to happen by April of this year. According to Beal, who cited a trustworthy source, intense talks were taking place for the bout, with both Conor and Logan showing interest. He stated that they were aiming for April and that the UFC was also participating in the talks. Everything appeared to be moving in the right direction.
It is 80% likely to happen. Now, Ben, there's a couple things that interest me. April and the UFC.
Yeah, I think the big conversation here was that Dana White and the brass would have to be involved for this to occur, much like they were with the Floyd Mayweather fight, which is kind of funny because Dana has stated several times, I believe, that he would never do this again. This co-promotion, this boxing, endeavor just was not worth it to him. But it seems like, yeah, they might be locked and loaded to do it again. And April 2025, that's a lot sooner than I think most people would have guessed. But, again, the rights are up for the UFC. We don't know where they're going to be heading.
It is 80% likely to happen, Ben. There are a few things that interest me, April and the UFC. Yes, you. The main discussion here was that Dana White and the brass would need to be involved for this to happen, much like they were with the Floyd Mayweather fight, which is kind of funny because Dana has said on multiple occasions that he believes he would never do this again, this co-promotion. This boxing endeavor just wasn't worth it to him. However, it appears that they might be locked and loaded to do it again. April 2025 is a lot sooner than I think most people would have guessed, but the UFC has the rights, and we don't know where they're going. According to reports, Floyd Mayweather Jr. also holds the record for the most payout from a single combat sports event. A recent update on X from the MacLife revealed that McGregor is poised to approach this amount, with projections suggesting he could make around $250 million for his upcoming fight with Logan Paul. They said the two will be well rewarded for their efforts, with McGregor set to walk away with $250 million, making the fight one of the most financially rewarding in history. Floyd Mayweather earned approximately $275 million from his 2017 showdown with Conor McGregor, setting the record for the highest earnings by a combat sports athlete for a single bout, released a furious tirade, dismissing the possibility that the fight would ever take place. The MMA analyst was shocked that one family would spend so much money on promoting their country's tourism on Saturday. The villain returned to the subject, claiming that the Ambani family had contacted him and asked him to change the plot. On his YouTube channel, Sonan expressed his confusion about the reported Conor McGregor vs. Logan Paul battle, saying that while it doesn't make logic, it doesn't automatically invalidate it. He reiterated his prior argument that it was illogical for a family to spend $500 million on a boxing match between two non-boxers in order to increase tourism in their nation. He then talked about his conversation with the Ambani family, which confirmed his fears. These people reached out to me directly, and the first thing they said to me was, "No, you got that part of the story wrong, Che. This is about this family," and they put the name out there, and it is about building this family and increasing its respect and recognition. It is not about India, and it is definitely not about tourism. In recent years, the Humani family has deliberately increased their participation in a variety of sports to strengthen their global influence, stating that the fight was never about tourism, but rather publicity for them to enhance their global reach and influence. With an incredible net worth of $83.4 billion, Reliance Industries chairman Mukesh Ambani topped Forbes' list of the world's richest sports owners in 2023. Given their growing prominence in the sports world, it wouldn't be shocking if the billionaire family decided to sponsor the Conor McGregor vs. Logan Paul fight, but Sang contends that this would be a stupid move and has once again harshly criticized the match. His sports portfolio also includes the Mumbai Indians, a dominant team in the Indian Premier League, Mumbai City FC in the Indian Super League, and even an esports team. Additionally, Nita Amani, his wife, is a member of the International Olympic Committee and was instrumental in establishing India House for the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Conor McGregor is due to fight Logan Paul, not to be confused with Jake Paul, in India for $250 million each. $250 million is more than Tyson and Usyk combined, not even close.
Conor McGregor is scheduled to battle Logan Paul, who should not be confused with Jake Paul, in India for $250 million each. The evil man claimed that this sum is even greater than Tyson and Usyk combined.